I am Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Susie.
And we're paranormal specialists who live in the most haunted city on earth, Savannah, Georgia. Every day is Halloween in our line of work, so join us as we spin true tales of haunts, murders, and disturbing Savannah history. I'm Madison.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to the most haunted city on earth.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the most haunted city on earth. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Susie.
And I'm JT Timmons.
And today we are going to do a From One to Wicked that I am very excited about this cryptid.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because, listen, JT the other day, because of course JT and I and Chris are all in these like weird paranormal cryptid type groups and stuff on Facebook. And so every once in a while you'll see things that pop up and you're like, we have to talk about this. So JT tagged us the other day and he tagged us in a cryptid called the SQUONK.
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 It's an onomatopoeia.
It is. It's a SQUONK. And so it's the ugliest creature.
It is so ugly.
It is so sad. It is a sad, sad creature. And
Have you ever heard of the SQUONK before?
No.
Is this your introduction to the SQUONK?
Yes.
Oh, no,
This
the SQUONK's great.
Yeah, this is my introduction to the SQUONK. I had no idea until JT tagged me in it, which I was like, this is fabulous. I love the SQUONK. It's not going to beat Mothman for me. I'm a Mothman lady, but you know.
A Mothman
Which,
lady.
by the way, also, I want to create a paranormal fantasy book club because I recently found a book called I'm in Love with Mothman. And it's a paranormal Mothman fiction romance.
Bruh.
So if anybody's interested in reading I'm in Love with Mothman with me and discussing that, let's do it, because I think that would be so much fun, and there's so many paranormal fun fantasies.
Maybe.
You don't have to join it, Chris.
Maybe.
I'm sure Ashley Warner would join me in I'm in Love with Mothman.
Don't do it. Just don't.
Megan and Eni, if you're listening,
Don't do it.
Join.
No.
Megan's a bookworm. Megan.
Yes. Megan reads like more books than is possible in the time that she has, and don't put I'm in Love with the Mothman on top of the list of already so many books you're reading.
Megan, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Well,
Anyways.
y'all, for anyone who wants to see what the SQUONK looks like, this is what this. I think it'll focus. There we go. This is what the SQUONK looks like.
SQUONK.
Looks
SQUONK.
like a brain
It does.
that is
It does.
run away from the owner's head.
Chris described it as like if you took a Shar-Pei, like the dog, like the Shar-Pei, and mixed it with a pig, that's what you get. It's the SQUONK.
The SQUONK. And we are going to be doing a From One to Wicked on it.
Yes.
And so I was saying in the last episode that there is an episode that we filmed, and it was about an Icelandic creature folklore.
The Grilla.
The Grilla. And
Yes.
I put it on Patreon because I'm like, only parajunkies will want to hear this. And so you can, if you're not a parajunkie yet, you can jump on there and watch the
It's
Grilla.
so good.
The Grilla is like 20 seasons of General Hospital. I mean,
It is.
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I don't know why JT like craps on me when it comes to
I don't
my
crap on you,
You do.
honey. No,
Every
I
time I
don't.
bring up Fae, every time I bring up these fun cryptids or crazy creatures of folklore, JT's like, nobody's gonna want to watch this. And I'm like, you're wrong. You are wrong. The Gorilla deserves a reality TV show. And so
She really does.
Does she now?
she does. She ate her husband
right.
and then divorced another one. She
All
is
Keeps children in balloons that hang off her butt.
We talk about it all
Butt
the time.
balloons.
Clearly, it was great. It was some of my supreme research.
Supreme research.
You know-
No.
And
So,
she's a Christmas entity on top of all of
Oh my god.
yeah. So,
Sorry.
Alexander.
I will,
Hold on,
I
we
will
got some- we
die
got some
on this
comments.
hill of Greeliness.
Alex Machado said it looks so cute, and that she wants to put a sweater on it.
Yes.
It's probably just shivering in the
needs
woods
a
somewhere.
sweater. It's from Pennsylvania. It needs a sweater.
Oh my God. And Harry Jane said, if I ever saw that, I'd either run or throw hands. Goodness gracious.
Squonk.
Squonk.
Okay. Anyway, so let's get into it.
Shall we?
All right. So, welcome to From One to Wicked. Today's entity is the SQUONK.
Squonk.
So, what is it? It is a creature that lives in Pennsylvania hemlocks that is so ugly it cries about it.
It cries. It's so sad that it looks the way it does. It's got a self-esteem issue, people.
You thought your self-esteem was low. This is lower. It's like,
wait, so it knows how it
knows how
it
ugly
looks?
it is.
Like, does it like
How
see its
unwanted
reflection
it
in
is.
its own tears?
It's the ugly duckling in pig monster form.
Yes.
and there have been sightings.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
There is.
As a matter of fact, you hear it crying before you see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll hear about it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's talk about an excerpt from the book Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods.
Fearsome.
Fearsome. The SQUONK made it into the cut. I don't know how it did, but it did, and I'm glad that it did because you can read this book. So the range of the SQUONK is very limited. Few people outside of Pennsylvania have ever heard of the quaint beast. I had never heard of it. I've also never been to Pennsylvania, but it lives out in the woods of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Which is sad,
Yeah, by itself.
sad
Right?
existence,
Sad, lonely
already.
existence.
But which is said to be fairly common in the hemlock forests of that state. The SQUONK is has a very retiring disposition, generally traveling about at twilight and dusk. So it's a night critter, which I can imagine if you're in the Pennsylvania woods and you happen upon a crying pig monster, you're like, I'm gonna run away from you now, which doesn't help with his self-esteem.
No.
He looks like he stank.
He probably does. He don't bathe.
No.
Where you go bathe in the hemlocks?
He doesn't have enough,
He bathes himself in his
self-esteem,
tears.
right? He doesn't have enough self-esteem to bathe.
Arcadia Eklund said, poor SQUONK, he's harmless.
Yeah.
Squonk.
Squonk. But anyways, because of its misfitting skin, which is kind to say, which is covered with warts and moles, it is always unhappy. In fact, it is said by people who are best able to judge to be the most morbid of beasts.
Wow.
And hunters who are good at tracking are able to follow a SQUONK by its tear-stained trail. For the animal weeps constantly.
Oh no.
And mind you, this is a published
Crying beast.
This is a published book on cryptids that is giving us this fun information. But when cornered and escape seems impossible, or when surprised and frightened, it may even dissolve itself in tears.
Yep.
What?
Mm-hmm. SQUONK hunters are most successful on frosty moonlit nights, when tears are shed slowly and the animal dislikes moving about because it's Pennsylvania.
Did you just say SQUONK hunters?
Yes. There are people like Bigfoot hunters who hunt SQUONKs in Pennsylvania.
SQUONK hunters.
Well, wouldn't you, if you went out to Pennsylvania, would you not
Look for a SQUONK.
Look for a SQUONK? I mean, it does.
And the beauty of a SQUONK hunter is, since SQUONKs, in their despair, dissolve. You got a built-in excuse why you didn't catch it. I had it dead to rights.
I had it, but it
dissolved
into a puddle.
Into a puddle.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that's how that's going for them. So anyway,
I mean, honestly, if you just want to sit out in the woods and drink beer, you can say you're SQUONK hunting.
It's
Come
true.
back and
SQUONK
say,
hunting.
Got close.
Not close, but it froze
Trail
from
of
its tears.
Oh, God.
But anyways, so when tears are shed slowly and the animal dislikes moving about, that's when it's best found. It may then be heard weeping under the boughs of dark hemlock trees. Mr. J.P. Wentling, formerly of Pennsylvania, but now at St. Anthony Park, Minnesota, had a disappointing experience with a SQUONK.
What a disappointment.
Oh God, this poor thing is. had a disappointing encounter with the squonk near Mont Alto. He made a clever capture by mimicking the squonk and inducing it to hop into a sack.
Oh.
I just wanted to get into the sack. It's just like a little round thing, and it's like somebody
People would not see me in the sack.
Yeah, he's like, maybe somebody will love me if I'm in the sack. No. In which he was carrying it home, and when suddenly the burden lightened and the weeping ceased, Wentling slung the sack, and looked in, and there was nothing but tears and bubbles.
Oh no. Bubbles
Of
the
squonk.
squonk turns into bubbles
Because it cried into
a puddle, and there it was.
Oh my god.
What kind of sack can you see tears in?
Right? I'm like, maybe it was a trash bag or something.
Maybe it was a trash bag.
Yeah, and so it was just a
bubbly puddle of squonk juice.
Oh my god. Jay,
you missed so
you
much.
missed a really important part.
I just want to go get a drink.
Yes.
To wet my whistle.
You missed an important part.
Okay, what's the important part? Just
A
real
man
fast.
caught a squonk.
Okay.
A man caught what?
Okay.
See?
What?
You leave the room
What?
for just a drink, and you miss a man who caught a squonk.
Okay. So, I'll reiterate. Debria, you can cut or do whatever you want to this, but this is basically this man in Mont Alto had what they refer to as a disappointing experience.
Experience with a squonk.
Wow.
And so he got the squonk to jump into a sack. And so
Wow.
yeah, and when he was carrying it over his shoulder, he noticed that the sack got lighter, and so he opened it, and all it was a puddle of tears and bubbles.
Bubbles.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
Wait, give his name.
gosh.
J.P. Wintling.
J.P. Wintling. If you're out there,
J.P.
J.P.
Wintling.
Yes. And so another book wrote about the squonk, and they just referred to, it's called Storytelling and Encyclopedia of Mythology and Folklore, which is a great book if you've ever read that. They just referred to the squonk as slow, and that's it. They just call him slow.
Squonk. Slow.
Yes. And then another book from 1939. This is not a new cryptid.
Oh, no. This is a pretty well-known regional cryptid.
Yes. So a book from 1939 called Fearsome Critters claims that it can only swim around in circles due to the webbing found just and inconveniently for the squonk between the toes of its left foot.
Wow.
It only has webbing
On
1 foot.
1 foot.
And it apparently,
So it swims in circles,
yes. And
crying.
Oh my lord.
it's a mess.
It's a mess. it's a freaking mess.
Maybe it's for our self-esteem. It's like, well, at least you're not a squonk.
Right. But
Although now, what a great insult. You
You're a-
squonk.
you're
Such a squonk.
You're just a squonk.
It sounds like something Shakespeare would come up
Yeah,
with. Like,
yeah, it
you know,
does.
like he loves insults like that. He's like, you ate corn.
You
It's
acorn,
like,
you wrinkled squonk.
yes, it's like, that sounds like something that he would come up with.
Oh boy.
Become thou bubbles and salt tears. Squonk.
Dissolve into your.
Dissolve.
Goodness gracious.
But yes. So it also in that book refers to the squonk as a creature of distinctly low mentality.
Oh. So it's
So he's dumb, he's
dumb,
ugly.
He's ugly. He
He's a-
cries.
He cries, he's wrinkled, he can't swim.
He's not that dumb. He knows he's unlovable, so he cries.
That's the
Goodness
craziest
gracious.
thing, because when we talk about these cryptids, they often aren't aware of their own
Right.
emotions, or
Yeah.
they all act on instinct.
They're just animalistic and
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you think about there's the realm of the cryptids where they are harbingers of, something like, Mothman's coming because destruction's going to
He's
happen.
telling you about something.
But then you have the other cryptids like Bigfoot that's just animalistic, or the Loch Ness monster, just a creature of some sort. This is like has emotions, has thoughts, and they're
mostly
all
sad
negative.
and negative.
They're
We need like a squonk support group. is what we
Yeah.
need. It's
Squonk support group.
yeah,
You're beautiful. I mean, not to look at, but inside.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So to all the people watching the live stream, comment if you want a Squonk support group
Squonk support group.
T-shirt made, and I'll make it a Pair
We're
Junkie
all
exclusive.
squonks.
Squonks are beautiful.
now and
Justice
then.
for the squonks.
We've all felt like squonks at one time or another. Don't be a squonk.
Don't be a squonk.
Don't dissolve in your tears.
We have some new people join the live stream actually, and they have no idea what's going on.
Oh yeah. So those of you who are just joining us on the live stream, welcome.
It's all good.
Let's
just keep going.
Yeah, we're doing it from One to Wicked on the Squonk. If you don't know what the Squonk is, you'll find out.
Google it.
Google it. You'll know. You'll learn real
It's
quick.
surprisingly entertaining.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why I brought it to the table here.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
It's like if you skinned Eeyore.
Oh my God, Jay. Oh God. What was the so
Just
we
that imagery is no boo.
yes. What was the hashtag we came up with in that first episode? Ghost whatever.
Ghost lighting.
Ghostlighting. And now
Ghostlighting?
hashtag skinned Eeyore.
Ugh.
Skinned Eeyore.
Oh God.
I think just hashtag squonk.
Hashtag
Hashtag
squonk.
squonk.
Hashtag squonk. From here on out, whenever you feel any type of self-consciousness, hashtag squonk.
Yes.
You know, if you're self-deprecating, hashtag squonk.
Or just picture yourself as that creature and you're like, wait, but I'm not that creature. So
That's
I'm
right.
clearly
I'm clearly better off than
Yes.
a squonk.
yes. And so anywho, but what it really hates, we're gonna go down the line, I guess,
Oh my
of
gosh.
the squonk insecurities. But what it really hates is its misfitting skin, which is covered with warts and moles. And then they just simply say the squonk is ugly. And so
Well, if you keep telling it it's ugly, it's going to believe it's ugly.
it knows it's ugly. It doesn't need to be told that it's ugly. But
Did
yes,
you not read The Ugly Duckling? Grows
No.
into a swan. Of course, the
squonk-
squonk turns into a puddle of bubbles.
tears and bubbles.
tears.
it grows into nothing but puddle.
Puddle.
But yes,
One day you'll be a beautiful puddle.
of salty tears.
Salty tears and bubbles.
But yes, so the author of Fearsome Critters, Henry H. Tyron, said it is probably the homeliest animal in the world and knows it.
And knows it.
And knows it.
Yes, unfortunately for all its alleged dullness, the squonk appears to be painfully aware of just how repulsive it is. Every article written on the squonk is just so they take one of these rapiers and just go
Well, see,
squonk,
I-
squonk.
I feel like that's what you do. When you talk about a squonk, you just hate on it.
even the name though. Can we
Squonk,
discuss the
squonk,
name? Like, how did that happen?
That's the sound it makes.
Squonk, squonk,
Oh, that's how you know
That's
it's
like
that's how you
crying.
know it's. It even cries. Wait, hold on. Hold on. It even cries ugly. It even cries ugly.
Yes, of course.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
This may be my favorite from One to Wicked ever.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. I love it.
Oh my god. We have so many comments.
Let's hear 'em.
Poor
Bring 'em.
Arcadia says, hold on. He's the OG sad boy.
He is.
Yes. Let's see.
Before history is written, it's played. Before it's frozen in time, it's fought one shift at a time. Before it's etched in silver, it's carved in ice. What happens next will last forever. The Stanley Cup Final on ABC and ESPN Plus begins Saturday.
Harry Jane said, imagine being tracked by your tears.
That is
And
kind of tragic.
It is.
and squonk juice.
Squonk juice.
Squonk juice.
That's so gross.
Blah.
That is the grossest thing that you could call it. It's not a squonk puddle. It's a squonk juice.
Oh my gosh.
You squeeze the squonk, you get squonk juice.
Whitney Elaine says that she definitely wants a squonk shirt.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep, yep.
I'm glad
I
you're
want
on
to say I've
board.
seen squonk plushies, stuffed animals.
I need one to sit right with me and be my emotional support squonk.
Oh my gosh. And Alex said for the design of the squonk shirt, we should do the OG emo squonk that needs the hair and My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I have some work ahead of me, y'all.
Yeah. The squonk.
Photoshop, do your worst.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, the skunk's just gonna be over here like It's not a phase.
It's not a face.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle to be this sad.
Squonk for life.
So emo.
And he has to sing Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
That's what has to happen. So
Yes.
that's the preferred squonk is emo squonk.
Cute without the E.
Oh,
Let's do it.
yes. Emo squonk shirts. That's
Emo
what
squonk shirt.
Emo squonk.
It's coming. It's
I-
coming, y'all.
I request it as a emo. I would love that. So anyways, in fact, it's so painfully aware of its looks that another author named Cox claims the poor thing is given to constant weeping over his really upsetting appearance and can sometimes be tracked solely from its tear stains. You don't even have to hear it, and people know
Wow.
exactly what it is.
Wow.
And the scientific name for the squonk
Wait, it has a it has a scientific name?
yes.
Shut up.
Yes. So the scientific name is La Corpus dissolvens, meaning body dissolves into tears. That is its scientific name.
I am so disappointed in science right now. There's no way.
You know, some zoologist out there was just having a great time with the squonk. And so,
Squonk.
so the Crimus corpus dissolvens.
Dissolvents.
Wow.
It's why squonks are more easily captured when the moon is up, too. According to Tyron, apart from that tear-stained trail, they tend to lie still in their dens on clear nights for fear of traveling outside and capturing a glimpse of themselves in a moonlit pool.
They're afraid of seeing their own reflection.
Yes.
Wow.
So they're easy to capture.
Anti-narcissist.
Yeah.
The exact opposite of a narcissist. You're absolutely right. So if you're going squonk hunting, clearly the way to go about this is you want to look for the tear stained trail. You want to hear the squonk, squonk, and look for caves because they're gonna lay there in their own
They're just going to be
tears.
still.
Yeah.
Squonk.
Skunk.
Oh my lord.
Because they don't want to see how ugly they are in the water. Anyways, so pretty easy. It makes sense why they're easy to capture and why it's so easily hopped into the sack.
But apparently, the moment you capture it, it'll dissolve into
Yeah.
a puddle.
Because it tells itself, I'm not worthy of being captured.
You don't want me.
You don't want me. Anyways.
Y'all are great squonks.
Yeah.
You know,
We should-
we've all felt like squonks once or in our lives.
Chris, you should write another children's book
Oh,
about the squonk,
Oh,
and we'll do an
you
audio
should.
book
We'll
about
do it.
Done.
Yeah, and we'll
Done.
play the
Done.
squonks.
Done.
Nice. All
Yes.
right.
Okay. Anyways, Chris is going to become a full-time children's author now. You've already written one, so
Yes.
I mean,
sure. Actually, written 3.
Okay, well, you're
But
full-time
just
now.
recently, I wrote 1.
Yes. So, believe it or not, despite its bodily shortcomings and tear trail, squonks are notoriously difficult to claim as hunting prizes because they melt.
Because they melt.
Yeah. Multiple accounts from fearsome creatures to myth, another book called American Myths, Legends, and Tall Tales, an Encyclopedia of American Folklore, tell of how individuals who successfully captured the squonk check their sacks later on to find that the creature has cried so hard it blubbered itself into a puddle. It happens every time. So it's like you just come back with a sack of
Yeah, but
squonk juice.
but
Oh,
they
what?
don't have like photos. They can't take a photo of the squonk.
I mean, ask the squonk hunters. you know.
Squonk hunters.
Yeah, sounds
Squonk hunters.
They just come back
sounds
with
very
squonk juice.
Icelandic to me.
They come back with squonk
It
juice.
breaks your camera. It's
Oh,
so
because
ugly.
it's so ugly.
So ugly it breaks your camera.
I love that.
You're not kidding.
I love that. Poor
Just,
thing.
classic ugly behavior. Breaks
So-
glass, breaks...
So this squonk actually is entrenched in American folklore history because even the great American legend Paul Bunyan had a run-in with
yeah,
a
I
squonk.
think that was my first introduction to the squonk.
Yes.
Wow.
Paul Bunyan.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
In the story from 1926, again, squonks have been around for a long time. It's not just a recent thing. Paul Bunyan and his great blue ox, and Paul and his men are stalled in cutting timber when one hears a strange wailing coming from some distance away. The more the man mimics and the wailing, the closer the strange sound gets, until eventually he's able to apprehend an unsuspecting squonk in a bag. He rarely did it. So rarely did it ever get near men that the logger who had caught the squonk was so greatly elated and called his friends to the bunkhouse to see the strange creature. And when he put it on view, it reads, Paul Bunyan, alas, the logger's elation was only momentary as the squonk did what it does best and dissolved in distress into nothing but some salt water and bubbles in front of Paul Bunyan. How embarrassing.
Wow.
Like, literally so embarrassing, you know, being like, oh, I found this great ugly creature. Look at it. Look upon its ugliness.
I caught a squonk. That ain't no squonk. That's just bubbles.
And Paul Bunyan comes over and he's like, dude, you know, it's just salt water and bubbles. And he's like, no. It was an ugly pig. It was here. It was.
You don't get it. It was wrinkly with warts and moles and
cried.
crying.
Anyway, so going through all these accounts, it's hard to feel bad and not to feel bad for squonks who really seem to have gotten the short end of the stick, if you will.
The ugly stick.
Yes. But before you start crying yourself, cheer up. Modern pop culture has given the squonk somewhat of a makeover because American rock band Steely Dan references the squonk in their song "Any Major Dude Will Tell You." A major band talks about the squonk.
And that's a popular song.
Wow.
Yes. With the lyrics, have you ever seen a squonk's tears?
Oh my God. I never put that together.
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, look at mine. People on the street have all seen better times. Ditto for the English group Genesis, who named a single from A Trick of the Tail. 1976, after it, the crying cryptid has even been made into a Final Fantasy character. So these references, as American Myths points out, have elevated the squonk from a pathetic being to an icon of awkward isolation and loneliness.
There you go.
Regardless, if you're wandering around in the woods and run into a squonk yourself, be sure to tell him how handsome he is.
No.
So now we need a t-shirt that's a squonk that just says same squonk.
Same.
Same.
Yes. Yeah.
Same squonk. Same.
So yeah, like the squonk is so beloved for its patheticness, and so even rock stars want to talk about it. But honestly, I can understand why they would include that in music because it's like
we made the emo reference
squonk.
already. We already suggested that. Yeah, it's we've all felt low, and here is the mascot of feeling low.
Yeah, if you're depressed, just know you're not a squonk.
You're not a squonk.
And hopefully that'll
Your tears
bring.
will not dissolve you to bubbles.
They will not dissolve you into bubbles, and you know what? That's okay.
You're stronger. You're stronger than the squonk.
Yes.
So why does it stay in Pennsylvania? That's what I want to know. Like
it likes the hemlocks and it doesn't travel far. It's slow.
Oh,
It's
You
so,
saw it. It is not an athletic beast.
Yeah.
It's not running through the wilderness. It's like it doesn't even come out of its cave if the moon is out. So
wow.
Yeah, so they don't travel. So it's just a very isolated critter.
right.
And now I need to go into the hemlocks of Pennsylvania so I can find
You
me a
want to find the squonk? Don't
Yes.
Let's go squonk hunting.
Yeah. Let's go
We
squonking.
want to go squonk hunt? Squonking?
Yes. Squonking.
Yes.
I like it. Squonking.
All right.
Well, we need waterproof bags.
Yes. Waterproof
What
bags.
do y'all think about if we can make it let's say 200 para junkies in the next couple months? We'll go squonk hunting.
We'll go squonking. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go squonking.
I mean, we can build squonking into a larger para trip.
Yeah.
We can go to because Pennsylvania's full of haunted
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely. With all the railroad systems up there and all that stuff, there is so much that you can talk
and
about
then
with Pennsylvania.
the main haunted place, like in the United States, is there, Gettysburg.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Gettysburg. It is a tormenting place to go. It is.
Really?
Yeah, oh my God. Just the energy just sucks you down. Like it really does.
I can only imagine
the level
someone
of
like you going.
aggravated death there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The pure agitation of it, because one thing that's happening in Gettysburg that you don't get in a lot of places where vast tragedy occurs, and I mean you get this in battlefields, is that you are dealing with not just the spirits of the dead the people who died. I should put it this way: you're not just getting spirits of people who died; you're getting spirits who killed. So they were killing and dying simultaneously.
And no one wants to do that.
And
99.9% of people don't want to.
The construct of humanity is being ripped asunder right there.
Yeah.
People are in the act of brutality and in the worst act available to humankind.
Yeah.
On such a scale. So, like, if you go to any battlefield, you'll get that. But something about Gettysburg, and I think it's because it was also not it was within the confines of towns and villages.
Right.
And, it's so close to a vibrancy of life.
It's also because there's such a separation of. It was at a time where there's such division in the main U.S. states and things like that. So it's you can feel that. You can feel that tension, that hatred for somebody who should be united with you. You can feel it. And also, it's the fact that Gettysburg as well does a really good job of making it feel like what it was like.
Right.
When
they preserved it so well.
Yeah.
So.
And that's going to amp up it's kind of the same gist as like when you come to Savannah. We do a good job preserving as much as we can to feel like what it was like in the 1800s, 1700s, wherever it is. And so when you go to Gettysburg, they do the same thing, and that's going to amp up your paranormal activity because it's familiar for these spirits. There's not like a bunch of new stuff around them that they don't understand. It still somewhat looks like what they experienced in their lifetime, so they're going to be a little bit more rambunctious, if you will. But yeah, I would love to go back to Gettysburg, even though it's like when you go there. Yeah, it's it would be cool to investigate and so and go squonking.
Squonk.
Squonk.
Oh yeah. Well, Patreon took the goals out of Patreon. So we had a goal that if we reached 1,000 Parajunkies, we let them choose whether we go to Gettysburg, whether we go to the Paris
Catacombs
or Aokigahara, and yeah, but
go to
that still
Aokigahara.
stands. I think that still stands. So.
Yeah,
You know.
I would love to go to Aokigahara and do it right, and like certain YouTubers who did it not right.
Yeah.
I would love to see it and experience it.
Yep.
See if it's any kind of similar vibe to what it was like with like Morgan's Corner and all that. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, squonkies.
Squonkies. One to wicked on the squonk?
I know we have to go. We have to come up with it.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 0.1.
Yeah, me too. It's
below one.
It's below one. There is no
0.1?
There's no wickedness.
There's no wickedness
at all.
except for its
ill will.
self-hatred.
It has no there is no damage to anyone but itself. And self-harm is where that 0.1 comes from.
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo.
I'm going to give it what it is, a 0.
A 0.
There you go. There you go.
A 0 loser.
See, even
this, where we're just like denigrating the squonk.
The squonk is watching this on YouTube and it's like, it's like, I finally get talked about and now they hate me too. I'm just not.
We don't hate you, squonk. We just don't think you're wicked.
You're not wicked.
Yeah.
If you gored somebody, it's like,
get out there and kill some people.
Yeah.
No, that was wrong.
Could you imagine a squonk having like sharp tusks or something and just like charging at people, blubbering while it's like, I don't want to do this and I have to do this to raise my wickedness score.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll end it out with Arcadia Eklund's comment. Squonk would be a good name for a hairless cat.
It would.
Squonk.
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 Squonk, squonk, squonk.
Actually, a pit bull.
That would be a good
Squonk.
squonk as well.
Squonk.
That would be.
Squonk.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm going to call Chris's foster pit bull Squonk from now on. Yeah.
Squonk.
She's no longer sorry.
She makes that kind of sound.
She does. Yeah, see, I've been calling her Manila Folder for a long time now, but now she is SQUONK.
Squonk's a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Can I ask actually for the live stream, what is y'all's rating of the SQUONK?
Let's see.
Sign off in the comments real quick before we close it out. I just want to hear.
There's a little bit of a delay, so I can catch like nasty comments.
Yes.
So,
understood. Well, yes, as we're waiting, yes, if you want to send in ghost mail or questions or ideas for other cryptids or entities you would like us to rate from 1 to Wicked, send it to ghostmail@hauntedcitypodcast.com. TikTok crushed me and took away my Q&A button. So now I have to decipher through a bunch of emails and things like that, which is fine. I enjoy hearing from you guys. So if you want to send in a question, just make sure you put in the subject question, or if it's ghost mail, put ghost mail so that I know which one it is. Or if it's a suggestion, put suggestion,
All right. We got Whitney Elaine saying a 1.
A 1? Okay.
A 1. Harry Jane saying a 1.
Okay.
And
y'all are being nice.
Yeah.
They feel bad.
They feel bad.
They're like, no.
It's a little wicked. It's a little wicked.
Yeah. Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Call it what it is.
Yes, it's true. But there's a bunch more people. Okay, 1, 0. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so the consensus is the
It's not
parent
wicked.
junkies and listeners are much nicer than we are. Chris and I are like, you're a disgrace. You are nothingness. And so, but with that, though, thank you guys again. I hope you enjoyed squonking with us.
Oh, no. There's a squonk
A squonk plush?
plush.
Ah!
Oh, that's way too cute.
It's
That's
too
way too
cute.
cute. A
It looks like a
squonk
pit bull with
plush?
Shrek ears.
Oh, ew. What is that?
It looks like a pit bull with Shrek ears.
Oh, get it from the side.
Okay, but I do want an emotional support squonk for the show now. Make that happen.
Oh, no, it's so cute.
All right,
Yes.
y'all.
Make that happen for me, Jay. I want emotional support squonk. Thank
I'll
you.
get you an emotional support squonk.
Thank you. Okay, anyways. So thank you guys again. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And my name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And stay spooky, y'all.
Squonk.
Squonk!